cloud.
Got it. There it goes into the cloud.
Into the cloud.
Into the clouds of heavy metal.
Oh my gosh. I am so honored to be on Zoom with you right now. We have talked once on the phone and you were one of my favorite guests ever, Rob Halford.
Well, thank you so much. It's lovely to see you in the Zoom flesh, Lern. And hello, Keishi. It's so great to be with one of my stations that I tuned into the first time Priest ever came to America all those decades ago.
Do you remember Keishi 95?
Absolutely, yes. I think I used to come by the station regularly when we were in town because we had time in those days. It seems nuts that we're here 50 years later and we seem to be going a million miles an hour. Maybe that's the state of the world. But I used to come by and steal all the merch, you know, the caps and the t-shirts and everything.
This merch.
And you, yes, that merch. And I always say this when I talk to Keishi, you were one of the first radio stations that really picked up on Judas Priest and supported the band and supported this new style of music called heavy metal. So Keishi was there at the very beginning, and we never forget that. And we'll always be grateful. We'll always be grateful to Keishi for being with us for the whole of Priest's existence.
I have to tell you, so on Monday nights, I host this reincarnation of this heavy metal program on Keishi that was started in the 80s by a man named Radical Rich. It's called Monday Night Metal. And I want to say every Monday night, I play at least one Judas Priest track in your honor, because you are the metal god. And the guys and girls in this group just absolutely love you. And what I saw the snippet of your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame speech where you're talking about how inclusive heavy metal is. And you nailed it. You nailed it completely, because this group of people, we have a Facebook group, and it is the most inclusive and opinionated and fantastic group of humans ever. So thank you.
Hey, the pleasure's mine. And I got to tell you, I hadn't got a clue what I was going to say. Everybody said, have you written a speech? I go, oh, I got it, you know. And then I'm watching all of this extraordinary talent go up there, you know, and receive their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame award. And I've been speaking to Simon. I said, what are you going to say, Simon? He goes, I've got a few ideas. And Annie, what are you going to say, Annie? Oh, I've got a speech. I've got a speech. I don't have a speech. And so when the moment came, and I think this is just me, who I am. I just like to riff, you know. I like we're talking now. It's all real. It's not planned. It's not rehearsed. Which is not a sniper of speeches, because speeches are important, so you don't forget people. But I thought what was funny, because I still haven't seen what I've said. But I walk up to the podium. I said, look, everybody do your bit first, because I have this. I'm notorious for flapping my lips for extraordinary long periods of time. I said, so everybody do your bit, and whatever time we've got left, I'll go up and say thank you. So everybody spoke, and then it was me. And I walked up to the mic, and the first thing that came out of my mouth, I think, was, hi, everybody, I'm the gay guy in the group, you know. And I don't know why I said that. It wasn't planned. It was just in my mind. But what we saw was this beautiful reaction from everybody in the room. And that just instantly threw me into this acceptance thing. All these people, they're not all metalheads. But what I've just said as a gay guy in metal, and the way it was received, shows you the inclusiveness of what we are in heavy metal, in our heavy metal community. So then I said this, and allegedly I said that and something else, and then I just stopped speaking, and that was that. But yes, it was a beautiful night. It was so great. Everybody was so kind and gracious, and man, it was something that'll live with me forever.
Long time coming too. I think so many Judas Priest fans have been vying for you guys to get in for years, and you know, being in the class of 2022, which by the way, obviously it happened this past weekend. It's going to air on HBO on November 19th. So everybody will finally get to really see everything that played out that night. But what do you think? I mean, I recall whenever Judas Priest got nominated for the first time, you're very gracious for that nomination, if I have that right.
Yeah, I think you have to be. Some of us aren't for whatever reason. I think it's important, you know, you have to think about the whole concept of the idea of this Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, or any situation where people offer you this or send this message to you of loving your work, loving your songs, loving your shows. Oh yeah, naturally, that's a very powerful thing to do. It's not small. It's not like a little, oh, you're great, you know. There's some weight behind the words that we use for each other. So, and maybe it's our background. Everybody in this band is a beautiful person. They're all like me. I get a lot of focus just because that's the way it is in rock and roll. But everyone in this band is a beautiful person, and they're all kind, and they're all generous, and they're all loving, and they're all giving. And that I think is at the heart of Judas Priest in every essence, in our music, in our shows, everything that we do. You know, more than ever, we need goodness in the world and kindness in the world. There's a lot of screaming and shrieking going on, so we have to find time to, you know, find a little bit of peace and give each other a hug and a kiss and say it's great to be together.
How was it being on stage again with KK and Les?
It was good. It was good. You know, we hadn't seen them forever, and I've still yet to watch the footage of that. All I remember was, you know, my brief interactions with KK, because I'm always running around the stage like a mad drag queen. You know, my interactions with Ken and with Les was great. It felt wonderful, you know, to have that moment together after such a long time, and that just shows you again the power, the weight, the vibe that the Rock Hall suggests you try to attempt. You know, try and recapture something of the essence that is really part of why you're here, why you're being inducted. And I was just so happy that that Ken and Les showed up, because they needed to be there. It was entirely their choice. But you know, I said it would just be. It makes absolute sense if you're in the room and we're playing together, and we did, and it was magical.
It was. I've seen a bit of footage. I have an acquaintance, and I believe she's a real friend of yours, Nikki Black. She was in attendance.
Love Nikki.
I don't know her. I don't know her personally, but because we're in the radio world and we're chicks, we've kind of crossed social media paths, and I know you and her go way back. And I was following her, and she kept posting about little clips that were happening, and I was like living for it. And so I saw a little bit more than that was out in the press. You know, you were talking about kindness and just everybody getting along well together. And I think you have such a gift in Richie in the band, because his sentiment after performing with everyone on stage was that he was just so humbled by the entire performance. And I mean, you can just tell that as every incarnation of Judas Priest, that energy and love is there. And it's just so lovely to see, honestly.
He's a miracle man, especially when you consider what he's been through with his challenges. And he needed to be there, because originally he said, I don't think I should be on stage. I go, Richie, you have to be on stage. It's important. It's important. I can't properly express the words because it's a feeling for me. I feel you need to be on that stage with us. And so did everybody else. Everybody else felt that way. But yes, he's a miracle man. And for that reason alone, amongst a ton of others, it was important that he was on that stage and showing people the wonders of survivability. And the great things that the medical profession and the health, in the healing in the health world can do, and some of the Lord's divine intervention. All of these things kept Richie with us. I said, Richie, you need to be on that stage, and especially if you can do some hair whipping with KK. They did the hair whip.
Gorgeous.
All my friends did the hair whip, you know, Richie and Zach and Hurricane Nita. It's like, did you hair whip today? I did.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
six massive hair flips.
What you lack in hair, Rob, is what you make up for in your amazing outfits. Oh my
Yes.
God.
It's
I
when
die
yeah,
for your clothes.
my hair went south to my chin and
You
to
look good.
various other horrible places on my body. That's what happens to old men.
I love it. I could sit here and talk to you. I know you don't have much time. You're playing a show tomorrow, I believe, in Colorado. You're going to be in St. Louis on Sunday, which is exciting, at Family Arena. And we were lucky enough to get you guys. Actually, I want to say before Richie's heart emergency, St. Louis was the last show you played. And then it was like the next stop is when everything went down. And so we got to see you last year for 50 years. And it was an incredible show. I was third row center and you killed it. And so whenever I saw you put us back on your tour schedule with Queensrÿche, I was like, oh my God. So I'm curious though. I want to talk to you real fast about the follow-up to Firepower, because I've seen some headlines about, maybe next year is when vocal tracks will be laid down. Tell me a little bit about some new music that we can be expecting in 2023.
Well, as much as you can try and convey what the music is about by talking about it, which is impossible. But we had such a wonderful experience with Firepower. It was such a critically acclaimed album and so beloved by all of our metal fans around the world. We worked hard on that album. I felt that album was as important as like Painkiller was, or British Steel, or Sad Wings of Destiny. Not dismissing all of the other albums, but some records push forward a little bit more than others. And we worked really hard to re-establish a lot of things about Priest on Firepower, and we did that. So now we have to kind of go one more over 11 with this next one. It's a beautiful record. It's so difficult for me to talk about. Everything is done, as you say, except for yours truly. I have to be in the right headspace to get my vocals in, my thesaurus and all my words, but we'll be doing that early next year. And then we'll find the right time sequence with our label. We've been with Sony, Columbia, CBS, Epic forever. We love our label so much. The process of ready to drop the album. And as usual, we just ask everyone to tune into the social media now and again and check out what's coming with that. But quickly, isn't this great that we're coming back to St. Louis and KC land again so quickly? That speaks volumes about you guys and the way you love Priest so much. This is a different show. This is a different show. We're pushing a lot of stuff from Screaming for Vengeance, which is also its 40th year. So songs like Riding on the Wind, Jawbreaker, we haven't played forever. The title track, Screaming for Vengeance, we haven't played forever. It's a whole new show.
Yes.
So for you Metal Maniacs from KC world are coming again, you're going to get a whole new Priest world on that stage again soon.
Well, we look forward to seeing you this Sunday, November 13th, Family Arena. Last time I talked to you, I said I would bring rollerblades to your dressing room and we would rollerblade during Turbo Lover. I failed to do that.
Well, we'll find a time to do that, Lern. Turbo Lover isn't in the set this time, although we could go completely nuts and try and rollerblade to Riding on the Wind, which is kind of appropriate,
Okay.
We might end up outside the building heading down to the Mississippi, but still be all good. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
It was nice to talk to you again. Love you, Rob Halford.
All right. We'll see you soon.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.